All right, hello, East Central, and thank you very much for tuning in to another edition of Facebook and YouTube Live. My name is Brandon Oliver, and I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for East Central ISD. And we have, some great guests lined up for tonight because we're going to be talking about uh, mainly towards special education. And I would be remiss if I didn't have a special education expert from East Central on with us. So I'm going to bring on Liz Geisler. Is it
Yes,
Geisler? Did I say it right? Right?
Geisler, yes, yes,
All
yes.
right. I'm a new guy, so by all means, you can pick
Oh,
on me.
please, you did very well, very excellent.
All right. So Liz, tell us what you do here at East Central.
I sure will. I have been. This is my 13th year with East Central, and I started at the high school. And right now, what I do, I have been doing for the last 5 years, is I am the instructional specialist for special education. And this year, I get to focus on our secondary campuses as we continue to grow as a campus. Love my job, really.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good one.
it is. I
It
mean, you're
is.
making a
It is.
significant impact. And of course, the East Central community is just fantastic.
Oh, it is.
And
I
so
came. I started here. I started teaching here, and I stayed here.
nice. All right. So Liz, I'm excited about this episode.
Me
You
too.
have
Me too.
some experts that you're going to introduce to us. Do you want to go ahead and introduce them?
Yes, I would love to. We have I'm sorry, Alice Alvarez from Autism Lifeline Links, pardon me. And we also have Rachel Vargas Trevino with us this evening from Any Baby Can. These are resources that our East Central families must know about. And we have been making a huge effort to get the word out about the great resources and services that these folks provide. And they are here tonight to tell you all about all the wonderful things they do.
Awesome. So Rachel and Alice, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And so who's going first?
I guess that's me.
All right, Alice, let's do it.
Okay. Hi, everyone. As Liz has been so nice to say, I'm Alice Alvarez. I work for the Kronkowski Charitable Foundation, and I work in the initiatives department, per se, and I work with the initiative Autism Lifeline Links. Um, so I'm very happy to be here to tell you about a wonderful resource, and you can see the slides here. We can just go ahead and click. And first of all, what is autism? So this is, go ahead and just click again and again. And I think that's it right there. So that is the definition. Autism, I am not an expert. I don't come from the autism field, but I'm very blessed to be able to work with this initiative. My partner, Rachel, is definitely the expert, and we'll be able to answer a lot more questions on that. But as you can see here, it is a group of developmental disabilities that cause significant and social communication and behavioral challenges. So that's just kind of a quick definition. So if we can click on. So what happened is several organizations came to Kronkowski and were just imagining, what if, we could all work together in a way so that families aren't bouncing around from a lot of different wonderful organizations and could find everything in one place. So if you'll click one more time, we did, with the help of beautiful organizations such as Any Baby Can. The background is that these organizations came together and they wanted an organized way so that families could easily go in, get services, and not having to tell the story over and over again, and not having to say who they spoke to last Wednesday, and all of those kinds of things. So if you will please go to the next slide. Let's see, I think we skipped one. Can we go back one? Okay, sorry, I skipped one. Let's go forward one. Thank you. And then also to discover what is working, what's not working, what do we need more of, and doing different studies that move policy as well. One of those things that we're looking at right now are long-time service and support. So we'll talk a little bit more of that as we move forward. Okay, if you'll click another slide, please. And one more. And one more. There we go. Oops, back one. Sorry, that was my mistake. Thank you. So Autism Lifeline Links is not a program. It's a convener of several programs. It's kind of what it says here, a one-stop shop. So it's all of these partners that you see here, and many of them you may already be working with. So with that, you can register on your own through the website, and of course I'll share that with you, or you can go to any of these programs and say, I heard about Autism Lifeline Links. Can you help me register? Can you make sure I'm on that, in that group? And make sure I covered everything there. So let's go ahead and move to the next slide if we can. Thank you. So what's wonderful with all of the programs is they can each see your full story. So in a little while, we're going to talk about how you register. And each of these programs, you don't have to walk in and tell your story over and over again. So they see the complete person. It's very, how do you say, I think it's human-centric or something like that. My partner in crime from Any Baby Can will help me with that language. So they can send referrals and they can see what each other is doing, so that way we're not duplicating as much. And let me go ahead and stay right there. So the program empowers people, as you can see through this slide, with knowledge and tools. It is a program that shares the individual plan. So if a particular one of our partners has a plan, the others can see that plan and either enhance it or say, you know what, we can help you with this, we can help you with that, so that we're not having to duplicate all of those services again. Streamlining in that same way, and then building capacity. So if a program, if we're noticing that a lot of people are looking for the same kind of service, everybody can get together and try to figure out how can we make more, how can we build that up. Also with policy and advocating with the state. So there's a lot of legislation that needs to change. Autism Lifeline Links has been able to do a lot of that as well. I believe the last one was on some behavior, the behavior training and stuff that they offer. Okay, next slide. Autism Lifeline Links is in all of these counties. Kronkowski, mainly their areas are Bear, Bandera, Comal, and Kendall. But if you're getting services in any of those areas from outlining counties, you can still be in Autism Lifeline Links. And there's still some other great stuff that we can talk about in just a few minutes. Person-centered system. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So it sees the individual. It's very person-centered with your needs and your wants. To make it bigger, better, and more accessible, and improve our opportunities and outcomes. If we can move to the next slide. And here we'll start talking about how to register. And one more click, please. There we go. So the wonderful thing is it's free to register on Autism Lifeline Links through the generosity of the Kronkowski Charitable Foundation and this initiative. And so all you need to do is click on the register. We have more than these partners. These are just a few of the partners, but there are more now. If you'll click one more time, please. And one more. After you click register, you're going to see this page. And this is the permission, because everything is HIPAA compliant. So all of your information is safe. We have to follow all of the rules of HIPAA. And there is a little tiny box. You can barely see it on this slide on the bottom left. And you would just click that, agreeing that your information can be shared between the partners. And it discusses what kind of information that will be. And if we'll click one more time, please. And one more. And one more. And I think there is one more arrow. Perfect. Here also on that very first one, that very first arrow you see there is another square that you'll click, and it explains how your information will be used between the partners. And then also just adding in your email is your signature, and then you would click that very last one. And it's just that simple. If we can go on to the next page, please. And the reason you're clicking all of that is to give your permission that all of your information can be shared and coordinated between the partners. Here, oops, back one, please. There we go, right here. And so on this one, it's asking if you're registering for yourself, because it doesn't matter the age. Anybody can register on Autism Lifeline links. So if you're an adult, there's people being diagnosed as an adult, you can sign yourself up, or you can sign up a family member. And there is also one requesting information for somebody else. So maybe there's a neighbor or somebody you're trying to help, you can click on that, and that way somebody can get in touch with them. Okay, if we can move forward. Perfect, right there is perfect. Oh, one, there we go, perfect. On this one, is the same information you're going to get on most times that you register. Is your name, address, phone number, and then be sure to scroll down. So if we'll click one more time, it'll show you that. And there we go, and one more click. Thank you. And here is the rest of the information. It will have a relationship at the very top, your relationship to the person that you're trying to help. And there's possibly a few more questions that'll come up, just depending. But when I created the PowerPoint, of course, I wasn't registering, so I didn't get all of those additional questions. But there's not a few. It's just a few more clicks. And there is also in a follow-up question, if you're trying to figure out, is this autism? There is a question on there that says, have you been diagnosed? And you can put on there, not yet diagnosed. So that's a wonderful little button, because you can get started on information and resources and then find out later, and then you can go back and have that updated. So again, this is for any age. There is no depending on the program, they may have age ranges, but not for Autism Lifeline links. So if we can go one more slide, please. And here it says you're registered, and one more click. There we go. And so here's the wonderful magic that I personally really love. A care coordinator will call you and discuss your needs. The coordinator will contact the all partnering organizations. Then the organizations will contact you about their services. So the individual isn't having to write down phone numbers, write down who they spoke to, when they spoke to them. I always say, I can't remember what I ate for breakfast. How in the world am I supposed to remember what I did last Tuesday at 3 o'clock? So all of that is going to be in the platform. And that's what we call this particular website. It's going to all be in there so that the different partners can see it, and then they are going to come and contact the individual. It's real important that after you register, you expect that call from the care coordinator, and that could be sometime between 1 to 3 business days. So if your phone is like mine and just sends people straight to voicemail, make sure you're checking those voicemails. You can call back. There is always at the very bottom of the website, and we'll go over that in a little while, an email address that you can email saying, I registered. I think somebody tried to call me. Can you please call me back? And those emails are forwarded to the correct person. So go ahead and click one more time, please. Another wonderful thing is when the care coordinator contacts you, they're going to write down your whole story. They're going to document it so that that information can be shared with all of the partners. Then those partners can contact you. And if you want to update or change, if you're like, oh my God, that didn't happen in 2019, it happened in 2020. Because I don't know about you, 2020 didn't exist for me. It was horrible for all of us. So if you need to update information, you can talk to one of the partners, update your story, and then all of the partners will have that information. Also, if you move, Lord forbid, we change our phone number, that information can be updated with one of the partners or through the care coordinator. The care coordinator will also contact you every 3-6 months, depending on what you request, what you need, how y'all discuss it. And that way you're getting somebody calling you every so often asking, how are things going? So right here on this slide, you can see we have a community resource guide, which has all kinds of information, can be used by anybody. So anybody looking for services can just click on that, and it's like a directory. It just has list and list of things. And then also, I don't have it on here, but if you look at the top with all of our labels up there, it says get help and get involved. On that particular page is a lot more information on the long-term service and supports. There's a survey on there that we'd really appreciate for you to go click on and take, and also information on the waivers. This is a waiver program, and it's for the wait list on these programs are up to 15 years. So you want to get on those as soon as possible. So there's a lot of information for that. That's one of the things that Autism Lifeline Links is working to figure out a way to lessen those wait lists, to make them a lot shorter, because 15 years is too long. If you're thinking, oh, we're not going to need that, it's like a free insurance. You can have it, and then if the day comes and you don't need it, you don't need to use it. But it's wonderful to be on a list just in case. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't cost, and you just want to be on that list as early as possible. The next page you see here is our news and events. And right now there's nothing on the calendar because we're just, life is just hopefully starting up again. But there are some wonderful studies that Autism Lifeline Links has done. The one that you see there is on adults, because we have less and less services as people grow and get older. And so we're trying to build that up as much as possible, and getting the information and having that available to take to the state and say, look, we need more funding. And so you can look at that there and see how that's moving. So let's go ahead and move on to the next slide, please. And here's the contact us. So at the very bottom of the website, like always, there's a little button that says contact us. And that's what it will, this is what will come up with that. So just put in your information and your question, it will be forwarded on to somebody who monitors that, and then they can forward that on to the appropriate partner or whoever it is that needs to answer that question. If you'll go to the next slide, please. And one more time. There we go. And go ahead and do one more click. So this is what you'll see after you send your message. So you'll definitely get a verification that it went through. You'll see at the very bottom, and I'm going to go over that next, we have Facebook. So please check our Facebook for different activities that the partners are having. So you can see what's happening, such as this wonderful Facebook Live event and things like that. So if you'll click one more time, please. Here we go. And oh, I forgot to say, it's okay, you don't need to go back. At the very bottom, you'll also see the email, and the email is info@autismlifelinelinks.org. You can send an email at any time with any question, even if it's to a specific organization, because that can get forwarded onto that organization. I like that because you can keep track of your emails. I just keep a thread going whenever I have an email like that, so that I can keep track of when did I send it, what response did I get, and you're just using one email address. Of course, you can contact the different partners individually anytime, but if there's just kind of a general question, general conversation that you'd like some information about, you can always use the info@ email. Okay, and right here we have behind the scenes, what is happening with all of that information, all of that data that you're providing. As I mentioned before, it is all HIPAA compliant, so you don't have to worry about any of your information being sold or being used or anything like that. It all stays within the system. And this way the partners get to see a clear picture of the individual and their story, and it's updated as needed by the family or by the individual. On the other side is the coordinating of care. So it's easier for the partners to communicate with each other. They are, using this platform to make sure that your information and everything that you need is being used appropriately, and that they know what each other is doing. So if one is providing ABA therapy, maybe somebody else can provide some other kind of therapy in order to balance that out, to make sure that you're getting everything that you need. And also, each program, the funding for each program does go according to that particular program. Autism Lifeline Links is the one that coordinates the whole thing. So if you go to any of the partners, you'll discuss what kind of charges or how the insurance works and all of those kinds of things with that individual program. And then it is collecting the data for system improvement. Like I mentioned before, through the state, if we're looking to hopefully change policy, if we're looking to get more state funds and doing different things like that, this data is used to take it and show how many people truly need it, and what are people doing, and what can be improved, what's really working and needs to be expanded much further. If we can go on to the next slide, please. So on here you can see that it does the referrals and follows up for with your loved one on making sure that everything is working the way that it should, linking you to the entire community of Autism Lifeline links, the care coordination and the email and all of that I discussed before. It's talking to a human and knowing that you have people there that are more than happy to help you whenever you reach out. And then with our resource guide, if you have any resources that you think, wow, I went to a hairdresser and they were just so wonderful with my child who has autism and are willing to do children with special needs and are really, really good at it, they can request to be added to our resource guide. And if you click on that resource guide page, you'll see that there's a place that says submit, and they can submit for that. And that is vetted and checked and updated regularly. If we can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. And then what you're giving back. Some people I've talked to say, well, thank God we're doing really good. We have a great insurance. My child is just doing really, really great. And that is wonderful. And we are so happy. But we ask that everybody register on Autism Lifeline links because of that data, and because you can pass that forward with that information, once again, to change policy, to bring in more funding, to get the different programs, whatever they need, so that they can support more families. And then, like I said before, you can contribute to our resource guide, and then, of course, giving hope. To build awareness around autism for the schools, for the programs, for our children and our families. And then again, on the long-term service and supports around that I mentioned, let me go back here and find mine. Get help and get involved. When you go to that page again, doing that survey and signing up for the long-term service and supports. There's flyers on there and the information that'll help you do that. And I did forget to mention on the very first page, when you first go into the website, it is in English and in Spanish. So up at the top right-hand corner, you'll see the little button that'll just toggle it back and forth. So it is in English and in Spanish. And if we'll click one more time, please. Thank you. So as I've said, Autism Lifeline links to sign up is completely free. Please visit our website. You have our email address there. We hope that you'll register. If you have any questions, feel free to email. If you need to speak to somebody, please email. And sign up for the long-term service and supports, and please do the survey. And let me see if I have any questions over here. Nope, no questions here. So I thank you very much. And thank you, Liz. And I'll pass it back to you.
Ooh, I've got this. Oh, that's even worse. Sorry. Okay. I'll fix that in a minute. Sorry about that. Okay, well, great. I had no idea how many counties you serve. That's pretty amazing. That is quite a wide view, or I'm sorry, a wide, broad range that you cover. That's a lot.
Yeah, anybody can register because it is all online.
Mm-hmm.
And then collecting the data from that wide view from those other counties can show how many people need to come into San Antonio or need to come in, further drive an hour, hour and a half to some of those services. All
Yes.
of that data is being collected so that at some point, we can get an any baby can in every little town. So that would be wonderful. And all of the
Yes,
other
it would.
partners as well, so that people aren't having to drive so far to get those services. So that's why I'm always telling people, just register. Just register. If you're in one of the counties, register.
So, yeah, it's incredible. You've made everything so convenient. I was a facilitator at the high school for a while for IEP meetings, and there's so much out there, and just to have this one-stop shop where you've got someone contacting all of these different places is quite a gift to the community.
Yes, and to individual families, if you've ever had to coordinate anything with a family, it can get really, really difficult. It's like, oh my God, when is baseball? And when is the doctor's
Right.
appointment?
Oh,
And yeah,
yes.
and when is my favorite show that I'm not going to be able to watch? And thank God for streaming.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you. It's all right. So, Brandon, shall we move on to? And thank you so much, Alex. And I know you're going to be here, right? You're going to stay with us until 6, until the end. If we have any more questions come up, I might have a couple myself. But why don't we go ahead and get going with Any Baby Can and Ms. Rachel Vargas Trevino. So thanks very much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me, Liz. It's good to see you guys and to be here with y'all tonight. Let me just say, Miss Alice, you did an awesome job. Thank you for that, for getting the word out. Full disclosure, my baby has been in the system. He's going to get mad at me because I call him a baby, and he's 14 now. He was diagnosed as an infant with autism, and we've been in Autism Lifeline links. And I love what they do, coordinating care, identifying gaps in service, because we've done a lot of work. Our families are pushing us. We're great advocates for our kids, but there are huge gaps in services, especially pretty much once they turn 5 or 6. So let me get started here. So anyway, I appreciate what Ms. Alice does in Autism Lifeline links, and so I'm glad to be here with you guys. I am with Any Baby Can. If we can go to the next slide, the Autism Services program. This is our main number. Okay, guys, please feel free to call us. This is how you start the process to obtain services with the agency. Okay. An intake specialist will call you. It starts a timeline of 3 working days. They'll shoot you an email, text to let you know, hey, you're going to be getting called within this time frame, okay? And they will then shoot out referrals for autism, or we also have prescription assistance, and I'm going to be detailing all of that in just a minute. And they can also set you up an appointment if you do need a case manager. Okay, so please don't hesitate to give us a call, and we can move on to the next slide, please. Okay, so I'm Rachel, and if you'll just click again. I am not just a parent of an incredible individual who's living with autism spectrum disorder level 1. He was medically diagnosed as a child and then did begin to receive services with the school district that we live in, and he's doing really well. But I also am a graduate of Go Roadrunners, UTSA, and I just finished my master's a couple of years ago at Incarnate Word. This is my passion. This is my purpose. My background is in politics, but once my child was diagnosed and we started to obtain services, went through the whole medical route, then the education, this is what I was put here on earth to do, was to pay this forward. All the knowledge that I have and experience is to pay it forward with you guys. Okay, now we can go to the next slide, please. So he was diagnosed when he was really little. I firmly believe the training we have, the training we offer, I am a client. I was a client. Our child was diagnosed as a baby. Okay, it was PDD-NOS, and if any of y'all remember, pervasive developmental disorder not otherwise specified. Okay, really long name for autism spectrum disorder level 1. Okay, so our doctor apparently saw some sort of disconnect. Our baby had no trouble within 3 weeks. He was in therapy. He was getting all the support he needed. We were in a little school. He was doing all kinds of programs with mommy and me. We did all that. We were still struggling. So when he turned 3 and we went in for his checkup with a specialist, they saw something, something just still wasn't working for us as a family. And they referred us to Any Baby Can. Best thing that ever happened to us. It opened up our world, started our journey, and really everything started to click for us then, because Daddy and I then became empowered. We became informed, and we became better aware of what we needed to do for our son now, back then when he was 3, into his future. So it really made a difference. And learning how to parent a child with autism, it was a learning experience, and we've had to learn different techniques. We've had to change our behavior, how we teach. So really great experience for us. And I'm here to help empower other parents. So we can go to the next slide. And there's my baby. Okay, one more time, click. So I'm here to pay it forward and empower you guys. Okay, we are all here at the agency passionate about making your journey easier, whether you have a child with autism or with other lifelong disability. We're here to make your journey easier and to get you the resources you need to be successful for yourself, your family, and your child. Okay, next slide. We offer case management, okay, and this is provided at no cost. There are no economic qualifiers. All you need is to have, your child needs to have a disability, okay, developmental or other special health care need, okay, developmental, that will be the autism part of it. We provide support from the point of diagnosis to 18 years of age for case management. Okay, that's going to change for the other programs. We provide long-term support, like Ms. Alice was talking about. We're person-centered, so we really focus on the individual's needs, but also look at the family as a whole. What's going to make your life better? So we focus on developing that family foundation and that family unit. And yes, person-centered planning. Okay, next slide, please. We also have prescription assistance, and that you can qualify for low or no cost prescriptions if you're uninsured or underinsured, okay? There are no age limits for that. All you really need is a prescription from your doctor. And again, you can call that main number that's scrolling across the screen, okay? Next slide, please. We also have a Center for Infant and Child Loss. And we know this does happen, unfortunately. Services are offered to guardians and parents who have lost a child from birth to 7 years of age, okay? So I know we've helped pay for services for individuals who were killed in car accidents, so you do not have to have had any type of diagnosis to qualify for this, okay? Again, call our main number, and if we can't help you, we can probably direct you to somebody who can, okay? Next slide. Our Autism Services program. We focus on parent education and also raising community awareness. For Autism Services, we service individuals from the point of diagnosis up to 22 years of age or graduation from high school. Really important, okay? We really try to get a foundation built, a strong foundation, and get you, like Ms. Alice was saying, on those wait lists with the state and with other programs and agencies, because we do know that once our kids graduate from school, they drop off the radar. Okay, so we really try to help with that. Even if you've got an older kid, give us a call. because we can help you get paperwork going and point you in the right direction at the very least, okay? We also provide essential training. It's all brought about because of evidence-based strategies. Okay, what does that mean? We're going to teach you the basics of applied behavioral analysis, which is ABA. Why? Because that's what insurance is going to pay for, because that's what's been proven to work in individuals with autism, okay? We also help to raise awareness that will grow acceptance of individuals living with a diagnosis of autism, okay? Really important. We want, any parent wants their kid to live as independent and fulfilled a life as possible. So we try to do that by raising awareness and making community members aware that, you know, if you offer these types of, maybe a quiet area, visuals, we all use visuals, right? It just makes the world a bigger, better place for all of us, and especially our kids. We also offer customized trainings throughout the community, online and in person. Most will be at no cost. Some may be at a very low cost. And that's really just if you want something specific, like us to print visuals, we would need to cover the cost of that. Okay. Next slide. So our parent trainings are generally just 2 sessions, okay? And we start with foundations, which is generally for parents who have kids who are recently diagnosed. Let me back up verbally just for a minute. We offer parent training, okay? We train on the basics of ABA and how to use visual supports. We also do other trainings. We do not provide therapies. We are not a therapy provider. We are not doctors. We are not credentialed to work with children in any way, shape, or form. What we're going to do is bring you in as a parent, as a caregiver, and teach you how you can help support your child at home. Okay, we all know we're their first teachers, we're their lifelong teachers. So that is what we do in the Autism Services, okay? So this is going to be lifelong skills that we're going to provide to you so that you can help support your child. Okay, so generally we start with 2 sessions, which is foundations, generally for somebody who's recently diagnosed. So we're going to teach how to identify behaviors, understand why they happen, and teach how to replace behaviors. We all know changing a behavior can be really, really tough, right? I've started counting calories in all my 50 plus years of life. I've never had to count calories, so it's a huge behavior change for me. But we understand that. But we're here to provide the support. We also have 2 sessions secondary training. That's generally for older individuals, and we build on the basics of what you already know. So we're going to be looking at adolescence and what happens next. Okay, we're getting out into the home and the community. Our kids' worlds grow as they get older, so we want to help you support your child in that. We also have 2 sessions of training on how to use visual supports to promote independence. So what do visuals look like? And here are some samples, and we give you visuals. We also teach you how to use devices. I had a mom in training this morning whose son is 4. He doesn't even need the printed out hard copy visuals. He's using apps at school and at home, which is great. So they're already well on the road to building independence. So we offer 2 session trainings on that. So our next slide, please. We also have single training sessions for toilet training, safety training, personal hygiene, and sexuality. Okay, all of our trainings are for parents. Right now, everything's online. You will get what we call a toolbox with visuals and other supports from any and all of the trainings that you attend, okay? We are here to empower you, like I said. So we want to give you as much support and as much information as we possibly can. Okay, the next slide. We do have also a product line available. Some of this, a lot of it's free. Some of it there is minimal cost. We are a nonprofit and we do need funding. So we're always looking for funding sources out in the community. So we do provide them, because we also find that sometimes educators and therapy providers are in need of visual support. So we do have a product line for that. It's called the ABCs of Autism. Okay, and the next slide. So this is our Autism Services staff. We've got Anna Cotton, who's our director, and she graduated from UTSA with her master's and has over 30 years of experience. I'm Rachel. Katia Finta is our education specialist, and she has 5 years of training of teaching in an ALE classroom, and is also a special needs gymnastics coach. Shirley Ramirez she keeps us all organized. She's our administrative assistant. She organizes all our trainings, does all our intake, registers parents for training, sends all the reminders. She keeps our program going. So any of us are available. And I think on our next slide, we have, yes, our contact information with a little bit more detail on what we do. If you have specific questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us with questions, or maybe you know somebody out in the community, maybe your favorite restaurant or a doctor who wants more information on how to support individuals with autism. Please don't hesitate to give us a call or shoot us an email. We're here. Like I said, we're all here to empower parents so that you can help support your child so they can live as independent a life as possible, okay? So please don't hesitate to ever reach out to any of us. And I think that's it with our next slide. I think that's, okay, yeah, so we're here. Give us a call. Y'all have our main number, okay? Thanks so much, guys.
That was excellent, Rachel. Thank you so much for that. I really resonated with me was, you used it at least twice, the word empowered. And knowledge is power. And having a resource like Any Baby Can, when someone like you all have a parent's back, you feel empowered. But you're right, getting out there and getting that knowledge. That was an excellent point that you made. So I ask just a clarifying question. Do you serve students with all, or children rather, with all types of disabilities, or is your focus autism?
The program that I'm from is autism. Our case management is any special healthcare need that's going to be prolonged. It's if you broke a leg, that's not going to work. Yeah. So, and I know that's difficult to differentiate sometimes, but it matters to especially our funders. And the reason we have a separate autism program, over 60% of our clients have autism. Why? Because it's an epidemic. And we were talking about the different counties we service. See if there's support like this in Dallas. There isn't. Or Austin or Houston. There isn't. So between Autism Lifeline links and the Autism Services program, yeah, we've got you covered, especially if you have a kid with autism. Yeah, but our agency, and the thing is, if we can't help you, because we know there are other agencies in the community like Down Syndrome Association, we can do referrals. Okay, so give us a call.
Okay. What kind of I'm curious. I know community, like here at East Central, I know that more and more we're trying, and we're using outlets like Facebook Live and things like that, social media, the ways to bring up parents together in like a more social. We've launched our East Central Special Education Parent Advisory Committee. This because we want to bring our parents together to exchange our stories and exchange the things that we know to help empower each other. What kinds of things does Any Baby Can have, or even Autism Lifeline links, Alice, to bring parents to create community among parents?
you know, and I know Miss Alice referred to this a couple of times. We've all struggled to do that during the pandemic.
Well, that's true.
We used to have support groups in person. We used to have individual counseling sessions. We used to have parents night out, and weekly clubs and all this. And we were just talking this afternoon about looking how we're going to get back to that, because it helps. It really, I know I'm one of them. Y'all saw I was running a little bit late this afternoon. Very quickly, I can turn around and log in and be in a session, right? Whether it's support group or just any type of group with parents or even educators. But sometimes we need that face-to-face, that one-on-one. So we're all trying to find our way back to whatever our reality is going to be. People like to say normal. I have a kid with autism. Nothing has been normal since he was diagnosed, right? It's reality. What is our reality? And it changes constantly, but we're all having to learn to pivot. So what is our new reality? So yeah, you're right. We're finding our way. We're hearing parents want support groups, and we hear you. I'm right now, based on Autism Lifeline links and their data, we see parents. We've got 3-year wait lists for ABA providers. I'm like, what's going on? So we're looking to build partnerships. So we hear you guys. We do listen. I promise we do.
Thank you.
All right. Do we need to bring Alice back on? I feel like she's been sitting in the background for a little bit.
Let's bring her back on.
Alice?
Hi, Alice.
We didn't forget about you. Liz, do you have anything for Alice?
Alice, I'm guessing that you're kind of in the same boat, as far as our social distancing and those measures that we have to take, and as we navigate COVID, and things are hopefully we're getting better. Now the only clarifying question, I know you've got this one-stop shop where you're serving all of these. You're serving parents, and you're the connection to all of these agencies, and I know that these children may not qualify for services from these agencies, but then I noticed that even if, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you don't qualify for any of the services, that Autism Lifeline Links still has services that you guys provide and supports that you guys, am I correct?
We don't provide the services. One thing is to keep putting it out there in the community to try to find somebody who does.
Okay.
And to be able to use that data saying it doesn't exist, or there's a 3-year waiting list, or I love my new saying, the new reality. I'm stealing it, making it my own, Rachel. The new reality is now asking for different kind of services. So all of that data through Autism Lifeline Links is being collected, and then used to hopefully go to different funders, to go to different programs that may be doing something very similar, and they just need to vamp it up a little bit. And they're like, yeah, you know what? We hadn't even thought about that. Glad somebody brought it up. So the services that don't exist, we need to know about that. We need to know the families are struggling with that, and that we can go out there to different funders and providers and find out more about it, so that we can create it if people are needing it. Because like Rachel was saying, that right now it's kind of cool that we can come in and click our buttons and we're across town.
Right.
And that may work for some programs, a hybrid. I work with some groups that they're going to, be able to do a hybrid of that. And for others, it's like, yeah, our program, not until we're able to sit in a room together, or at least outside together, will it work. So keep checking the website, keep looking at the news. You can get to the different programs through Autism Lifeline Links and see what they've got going on. And I think hopefully, if all goes well, we'll all be able to hug again. Won't that be wonderful?
It will be. Gosh, yes.
All right, so I think it is time to bring this episode to a close. Rachel and Alice, thank you so much for your time this evening to come on and talk about this very important topic. Any final comments for our viewers?
register on Autism Lifeline link and check out Any Baby Can.
Call us. Yeah. Call us.
We're here.
All right, and Liz, as the district's special education expert, do you have any final?
I can't thank you everybody enough for being here this evening and investing your time in us as we continue to bring to help spread the good word of Autism Lifeline links and Any Baby Can and anything that helps support our EC families.
All right.
Thank you, and thanks to viewers for tuning in tonight to get this great information.
Definitely. And again, this lives forever here on Facebook and on YouTube. You just follow the same exact links that you did to get here tonight. So you can, if you missed a part of this or you want to go back and watch a segment of it or anything like that, you can 24/7. So we will have some Facebook Lives next week. I know on April 1st, we will have the superintendent who will be talking about returning to school next year. So I want to thank everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.